What is going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 240 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. My name is Blaze, back from the weekend, ready for another exciting 5 days in a row of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online action. Today's deck of the month is Flame On. I've been kind of working on this deck as the month goes on and trying to perfect it, but it's not quite perfect yet. I'm going to go ahead and go into a couple of versus matches here and probably open up a pack of Guardians Rising cards if I can fit it into the timeline here, but I may not be able to, so hopefully I will. But let's go ahead and get into some matches and take on some opponents. I'm probably gonna, I think tomorrow I'm gonna try taking on some expanded decks and see if that has any bearing on my win rate, because it's funny because last week I accidentally took on a couple of expanded battles. Excuse me, a couple of expanded opponents, and I won, and it might have just been a fluke, but I kind of want to see what the whole expanded scene looks like right now. I feel like it's a lot of like really hard to deal with strategies in expanded because there's a lot more things you can do. That's why I kind of avoid it. But I'll see how it fares in an expanded match or two. Maybe for the rest of the week I'll do expanded, but most likely I'll be sticking with standard. So yeah, back from the weekend, I actually had a pretty solid, productive weekend on my Twitch channel. There was a lot going on. Did some shiny hunting last night. Did some Animal Crossing yesterday as well. I also did some ARMS. ARMS was it's going through a global test punch right now, so I was able to get in on the action, pre-release action, and play ARMS on stream for the first time. Actually, kind of a fun game, a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So I will give ARMS some credit. It was actually pretty good. So check out my Twitch, although those videos will probably end up on my YouTube very soon, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, let's get back to the action here as far as this match goes. I've got an opponent here that's probably going to be using one of the Tapus. Most likely, I'm not really sure what's going on my opponent's side here, but it looks like there's some Rayquaza action. Rayquaza EX. Intense Burn, 10 damage, plus 50 more damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an EX, and then Dragon Pulse for 100, discarding the top 3 cards of his own deck. So, let's see what happens. This will be an interesting match. I know that this deck is not perfect. It's got some opportunities. It's got some problems. It's definitely not perfect, but with a little luck and a little TLC, it could be much better than it has been in the past. So, I'm going to go ahead and just discard. Mainly because I can get those energies from the discard pile back into this deck somehow. I've got a couple of options there. This is kind of nice. I like that. Actually, right there is perfect. I can go ahead and maybe get an energy already attached. Nope, not yet. That's okay. Ninetales will be up soon. So I might be able to do 120 damage coming up pretty soon. I'm going to have to find a way to get this powered up, though. And I'm thinking once I get Ninetales here powered up, I'll be able to use Volcanion to get some energy out of the discard pile. I've already got 2 in there. I'll probably have 4 by the time Vulpix gets KO'd. So let's see what my opponent has up their sleeve. Snorlax, once it gets 5 energies, can be very devastating. 180 damage. Can only be used if this Pokemon is asleep. And Pulverizing Pancake is super, super hard to deal with. But right now it's not quite fully powered up, and I have a couple things I can use to discard energy cards, so I'm really hoping that I can get something going. This Pokemon has 190 HP, so I have to be considerate of what's going on over there. So once during your turn, you can search for a water or fighting Pokemon, basic one, and put it into your hand, or put it onto your bench and shuffle your deck. So my opponent could get a water or fighting Pokemon whenever they wish now. Might be a little scurry. I'd like to have a Ninetales break, but I don't need it right now. Next turn would be great. Or an Evo Soda would be good too. Here's Evo Soda for my opponent, going with Stuffle or possibly Mega. Okay, going with Beware. Also opting to draw 3 cards. No, not this time, but that's okay. This could help. Yes, we're getting rid of this double colorless energy to help make it more difficult for you to do that attack. Confuse Ray for 20 would probably be nice. And the confusion. Although I kind of feel like I should try to get Pokemon out from the bench and prevent it from retreating. Not that there's really any Pokemon that has that option right now. 80 damage is a lot to deal with, but I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get that Pokemon out because I know he's trying to power up that Snorlax, and I can't let it happen. If I'm him, I'm probably trying to get this Mega Rayquaza or Rayquaza powered up instead of Snorlax and use this as a wall, as a meat shield basically, because I have no cards, but so that's not really a problem. But I think my opponent definitely needs to get something powered up. Here we've got Marsh Stomp. Probably looking at a Quagsire? Is that what it... No. What am I thinking of? The evolution here. Marsh Stomp, Mudkip, Marsh Stomp, and... I guess we'll see in a second. I can't remember that Pokemon's name. I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty not terrible with Pokemon names, but right now I'm having a hard time. So Fire Blast will deal the 120 damage. I can discard this energy card and get it right back. So my opponent can likely do 80 damage, but it's going to get at the cost of getting KO'd. It was probably better to do this this turn and last turn. But there was also that chance that I wasn't going to get it in electric. Swampert. Swampert. There was also that chance I wasn't going to get a fire energy, so it was probably a good idea to test the waters there a little bit. But now my opponent's probably going to give up 2 prize cards here, unless they can get a switch or something to get this Pokemon out of the active slot. He's definitely going to evolve into the Swampert pretty soon. This turn, most likely. Unless a huge mistake happens, I would like to think that that Swampert's definitely coming out. And Dragonite will help him get that Snorlax back if he needs it. There's Swampert. Swampert does Hydro Pump 40 damage plus 30 more damage for each water energy attached. And once during your turn, you can search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, and put that card on top of your deck. Also, the Ancient Trait, when you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, you may attach 2 energy cards to this Pokemon. So that's kind of nice, I think. I like that card a lot, actually. Especially if my opponent... Like, I don't have an in right now, but I can totally mess up his plan by using in, because he just used that ability to get a card on top of his deck, possibly. He might quit. He might just forfeit. Possibly. Oh, that's actually exactly what I was thinking I needed to do. So, here we go with even more energy cards. Right here. Actually, let's go right here. No. Maybe. I need to get... so 120 damage is going to KO this Pokemon, but I also need to get it into a situation where he's going to be able to KO me at that point. So I need to have a backup plan. Let's get... Yeah, that's actually a good idea. That's going to discard that energy card. Evo Soda will get my Ninetales Breakout. And next turn I'll be able to do Sycamore again. So That'll help me get another energy card there, which would be great, and probably KO anything on the first hit once I'm there. Fire Blast is all I need to do. So we'll take out this take out that card, get the 2 prize cards, and we'll see what happens. Evo Soda is probably not important. This is probably not important. I need something on the bench that's going to help me. My opponent has 0 energy cards attached. He can attach 2 energy cards to Swampert, which would be dangerous. But I can probably KO this Pokemon in 1 hit. Yeah, 180 damage is not terribly difficult for me. And that energy card that he just attached is probably not the best move, because this one's dead. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Is he able to just draw a card somehow? Because I feel like he did that last time. Whismer. All right. Here I'm gonna use in. Yeah, let's do that now. Yep, because I want him to have a different card there. All right. Energy right there. Let's go ahead and do the attack and get the KO real quick, and then I'm going to use this for another Sycamore next turn. So this is 180 damage, 190 damage, 2 prize cards. All right, excellent. Exactly what I was hoping for. That's going to go right here. And my opponent really doesn't have much to do. He needs that 40 damage to happen, but that's not going to help. Not yet. And actually, if I can get a Lysander, I'm going to win this game. No, not quite. I need to go ahead and I need to KO this one. So 140. That's going to be difficult to deal with, but not impossible. I can still use Lure to get this one to come out. But then I have to KO it somehow. And if I do get it out here, it won't be able to retreat, so my opponent will need a switch or some kind of other item to take care of that. I could just retreat altogether, bring this one out, and start doing 160 damage, which would be great for KOing that Swampert. Let's take care of that Swampert. I think that's probably the best move. So we're going to go here. We're going to retreat at the cost of that burning energy. That's totally fine with me. I'm going to drop this also, and I'm going to use Sycamore to get some new cards, just because I feel like that's probably the best move. Let's see what this brings me also. Oh yeah, Turninator. It's a good card to put down there. Sycamore. That fire energy is not the best one to lose, but it shouldn't be that bad. We're going to go right here onto Turninator. I can also get energy back into my hand with energy retrieval, and I am good. So 160 damage will KO the Swampert. And he's in a situation where he really can't do anything. So he'll probably rage quit at this point. Right? I thought that was going to happen. 25 more coins, and if I win one more time, I'll be able to buy another pack. Oh, even if I lose, I'll be able to buy another pack of Guardians Rising, so that'll be fun. We'll open that up at the end of the episode. This time I got Seismitoad EX. I'd like to have both of these from the first and second tier of the ladder, so it's going to be a while, but I'd like to have both of them, so I need to keep playing this month. 6 days left in this ladder, so maybe I'll have to play a few extra rounds in order to get this this thing going. So, but here we go. Match number 2. That was actually a cool match. Took me a little bit of strategy, and talking through that really helped, and hopefully it helped you a little bit too, as far as to understand my thought process and and what kinds of things I was thinking. Sometimes it's good to go for the kill. Other times you have to kind of let something die because it's going to die anyway. That Snorlax is a good example of like it's got a ton of HP, but it's a Pokemon that's if you don't have it powered up and it's in your active slot, don't bother trying to power it up because it's not likely that you'll be able to power it up before your opponent is able to kill it. Sometimes it can. Sometimes you can make it happen if you have a couple of DCE and stuff like that, but you saw with the cards I had, I was able to discard those DCEs pretty quickly, those double colorless energies. So just be careful if you're using a Pokemon with super high energy costs, and know that your opponent could easily discard all of your energy cards quickly if you're not careful. So just be careful. Just be mindful of that scenario. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of this hand. This is probably not the best hand to have right now. But I guess I'll deal with it. I guess. 130 damage on Fire Blast. Potentially discarding an energy card. I don't want to do that, but I don't even know if I want to power this Pokemon up. It doesn't seem like it would be necessary. But I'll try, I guess. Can't do anything there, so we'll go ahead and go to the next turn. My opponent's kind of in a similar situation with Dragonite here. I don't think Dragonite was the ideal Pokemon to have right here. But he could get 130 damage coming up soon, so I got to be really careful. I definitely want to get something to help me get Pokemon out onto the bench. And I feel like I probably need to have this one ready. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I'll evolve it on the next turn. Floatstone might, I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do there, so we'll hold off. Floatstone might be okay for either one, but right now I don't want to put a Floatstone on there. I feel like that would be a bad move. So having Ninetales where it is right now, I might be able to draw some extra cards, which might work. But I haven't gotten enough energy cards yet, so hopefully I can get a Sycamore or an Inn very soon. I know my opponent has some benched Pokemon. Like, it would be foolish to think that they didn't. So I think I'm going to use Versus Seeker to try to get an Inn or a Sycamore out. Depending on the next card that I get. Ooh. Nothing, huh? So we'll go ahead and evolve here into the Mega. The Mega. He has a 1 retreat cost. Yeah, not necessarily worth. Yeah, I'm gonna get an Inn because I feel like I need to keep that. Well, no, I was gonna say I need to keep that Floatstone, but that's not entirely necessary since. I'm not going to attach it. It's not a big deal, but I wonder what I'm going to get next. So I guess it really does depend on the next card that I get. But I'd rather it not go to waste. I'd rather keep it if I can, but I can't ensure that I'm going to be able to keep it. So here we go. Go ahead and use Sycamore. Ooh, DCE is a great discard. That's the worst. Now my opponent has to take extra time in order to get that set up. No energy in the discard pile? Oh, okay. So we're done there. probably another Sycamore coming up here soon because I don't have any other options. This is becoming a stalemate game really fast. I feel like my opponent is having trouble setting up, and I am too. So you know, I can't really compare that. I think it's a fair comparison to say that we're both having trouble setting up our cards. He's probably going to quit. I have this feeling he's thinking about all of his options, and he's like, I can't do this, and he's going to quit. So we'll see. And he might even have already quit. I don't know. It's very possible. Do I want to switch? I think I should switch. That's probably the best move. I'll go ahead and use Sycamore here because I can't really do anything else. So there's some more energies, which is good. Here we go with, I'm just going to do, yeah, I'll go ahead and discard. He might be able to discard this energy card, in which case I'd be in bad shape there. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be okay. Although I can still retreat and get those energies back, so it's not that big of a deal. In fact, if I retreat, it's probably going to be a better scenario, because I'll get the KO and attach energy card. So if he puts something on his bench, you know, there's that. But I think he's gone. I think he quit. He's not going to do anything. So 2 victories today is not bad. I'll take it for sure. We'll do one more match here, and then we'll see what kinds of things I'll get out of that pack. A win is a win. I mean, I know that was kind of a quit, but he was playing for a while, so I'm not sure at what point he quit the game. It's kind of hard to say. There is another 50 tokens for me. I'll take that for sure. We'll go ahead and do one last match and hope for the best on this one. But, yeah, I think over the weekend, I had a really good time. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and do some more Pokemon shiny hunting streaming on Saturday nights. Because last night I still didn't catch anything, so... If you've ever been to my Twitch, you'll know exactly where it is. If you've not been to my Twitch, the place you're looking for is right here at the bottom of your screen. l3layze is my username. And that'll get you right to my Twitch. Just type it in Twitch. That's all you got to do. This is a psychic deck. Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. We'll see. Yes, I will draw a card. Because they usually come in handy. Okay, Nest Ball. I feel like I need... I feel like Houndoom has come in handy more often than not. So he's probably the go-to card on this one. Let's go here. My opponent's not attached to anything yet. But if there is a DCE, I need that. Let's go ahead and get the Spirit Link here. I can use it again next turn if I need to get Evo Soda. Have that all set up. But it seems like whenever I get Mega Houndoom EX set up, I have a pretty smooth game. So hopefully that'll be the case here. But I can use this to get this, and then use a Evo Soda on the next turn. I'm going to need some energy cards, though. This is not going to work very well. So this is going to be the Garbodor that does damage based on the trainer cards in the discard pile. Probably want to limit the amount of trainer cards that I use on this match. Ugh. So I've already got 4. That's 2 right there, right? And this is going to be 3. And that's 4, the Evo Soda. So I have to be really careful. I can use it again on the next turn. That's going to add another one in there. But I guess that's it. I don't want to use any more trainer cards if I can prevent it, because this Pokemon's going to be devastating if it gets powered up. So, although I think it's going to be the one that does the ability, it nullifies the ability instead. We're going to have an Espeon GX coming up. Oh, nope. Trashalance is the attack I'm talking about. 20 damage. For each item card in your opponent's discard pile, there are 3 item cards there, so I don't want to use any more if I can prevent it. 60 damage is enough. So we'll see. Uh-oh, Espeon GX coming at you. And more of these GX Pokemon, so I'm a little worried about this. My opponent... has a lot of Pokemon down here that can get KO'd easily. And that's going to discard an energy card, is that right? Discard a special energy card. That's not cool. I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get Skyla back out, and I'm going to go ahead and get... Oh, man, I need to get an in. I can't use Sycamore, and with this hand, I can't do it. So we'll go ahead and grab in. Next turn, I'll have something I can do, but this turn, I'm going to have to just do the old pass. The old pass. A lot of GX Pokemon out there and EX Pokemon that are easily KO'd. So, if I can get Ninetales Breakout, that would be great. But I'm also in a situation where Ninetales Break may not be the best option. So, Shauna? So, I'm not sure what the plan is here from my opponent, because that was a good plan, I suppose. So there's a ton of damage, 80, plus more if there are Pokemon on the bench that have damage counters on them. So, good news is I can discard that double colorless energy, so that's nice. It's going to, at the cost of a trainer card into the discard pile. But what I want to do is go ahead and use in right now. I think that's probably the best move. Gosh, this is awful. I guess I'll go ahead and get that energy card back because I'm going to need it. And next turn, get this one attached and hope for the best there. I don't think it's going to work out very well, but we'll see what happens. He's going to be able to discard that special energy pretty easily. But I've disrupted him for at least a couple of turns. He's either going to try to power up this Drampa or get this Espeon powered up instead. The good news is none of these Pokemon are trainer cards, so we're good there. This is bad news. Bad news bears. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 120 damage. Oh. Okay. I'm not sure what the point of that was. I guess, okay. I mean, I guess if you're going to discard your cards anyway or something, but 140 damage. I miscalculated a little bit. I guess that one, okay. That helped get an extra 20 damage to the Pokemon. So we're going to go here. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to have to do this. That's going to go into the discard pile, so that's unfortunate. But there's a chance I might be able to get a switch, which would be great. I did not get one, so not so great. I'm going to have to go ahead and go to the next turn. I have an energy retrieval, so I can get the energy cards back if I don't have them in my hand. So this one's gone, which is really unfortunate. Espeon's going to deal a ton of damage when it comes out. So I've got to be really careful here. This is probably not going to work out well for me. That Espeon being powered up is very dangerous. He's probably going to use the GX attack. What is that going to be? 50? Yeah, 50 damage, and then 50 damage here. Or there. Psychic. Yeah, either way. So he's gonna be able to do 90 damage. It's not that much, I suppose. Not as much as I thought it was gonna be. So, and I can make him discard that energy card too. So, let's get some of this stuff set up here. I'm gonna go with. Man, this is awful. I don't have many options for benched Pokemon here. So there and here. That'll stop him from doing any real damage to me next turn. I can get energy back, so we're good there. Yes, I do want to do the extra 80 damage. I don't have to on the next turn, so that's good. My opponent's Trash Garbodor is going to do a ton of damage, though. Probably enough for the KO. Versus Seeker for a Lysander. Ooh. To the Ninetales? That would probably KO the Ninetales. I guess maybe Volcanion would do the trick, too, if you needed to do the Volcanion. Okay, Ninetales. Good call there, but now you're dead. I hope that you have an insurance policy. So this will give me the energy back into my hand, and I can go ahead and use Versus Seeker to get a in. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. In's a really good idea. My opponent has one prize card left, which would be pretty devastating for him to only have one prize card. And I might be able to go ahead and discard this energy over here too, which would be great. Yes. Yep, we'll do the extra damage. I might have an epic comeback here. I don't know if that's going to work out or not, but it could end up being a pretty epic comeback. Might confuse me, which would be unfortunate. Be very unfortunate. Ooh. That's going to be tough because it's going to discard that special energy, which is very devastating for me. But I can get it. I can get energies back. He's got a 2 retreat cost. Yeah. Mm. Mm. I'm not going to use in. Not yet. I am going to retreat for this one. I'm going to go ahead and use power heater. Get energy back onto this. Retreat again. Do the extra damage. We'll go back and forth like this for a few minutes. There's a chance that's not an energy card, so hopefully I don't have to worry about the energy being attached to Drampa and then doing some damage. With a good versus Seeker, I could get a well-placed Lysander. I only have one left in the deck. There's an energy card. This is going to be tough. I only have 2 versus Seekers, 3, so I've used all those. Ooh, that is super unfortunate because I'm going to use in, and that's going to negate that effect altogether. So, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but I kind of have to at this point. So we're going to retreat, bring out this one. We'll attach that, sure, because that'll help me do some extra damage here. And I don't need to use that, so I won't. We'll do this. Extra 80 damage will be the KO on the Drampa. Get the energy card right back, and I get to use this energy next turn for another KO. The only option he really has is Espeon. Espeon could do 90 damage. Well, that's unfortunate, but that's okay. I can just go ahead and switch again and just do the whole thing all over again. In fact, that's probably better, because now I'm going to be able to get energy attached here and with Power Heater. And Power Heater will be the KO. So I'm pretty much in control on this match. Just telling you the truth here. I guess we'll do this and see if this can amount to anything. I'm not sure if this will or not, but we'll try it. Try the evolution on the next turn. Power Heater, 20 damage for the KO, not quite, but I get energy cards, so that's all good. I'm still in control. As long as I can keep energy attached to all of my Pokemon, I'm still in control. I'm guessing that's not an energy card. Otherwise, he would have attached it by now. Psybeam. That's unfortunate. So we're going to go here. We'll go with Evolution. I do have Ninetales Break in there as well. So that means I can get that out on the next turn, probably. Get some of these burning energies back into the deck, which will definitely help out. Retreat for this one, and this is enough damage. Don't even need to do the extra damage. So 2 more prize cards. Next turn, my opponent doesn't really have anything, and I can get Ninetales Breakout, switch, and KO for the last prize card, no matter what it is. So kind of an interesting match that could have gone either way. I think that I ended up with a pretty decent hand. My opponent had trouble setting up, but so did I. So it worked out for the best for me. But I think that getting set up more quickly is definitely in my best interest. So let's go ahead and open up a pack of Guardians Rising booster packs. open up another Guardians Rising booster pack here in just a second. Let me buy it first. I don't have any. I don't have the right ones. So, let's see. Packs. We'll go to Guardians Rising, redeem, confirm, and let's go to the collection. So, hopefully you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed playing that. If you had fun today watching the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon Trading Card Game online. And I do a lot of other stuff on my Twitch and things like that as well, so definitely check that out. Let's see what cards I got. I never get anything good, so I'm a little upset about that. But let's see what they are. Ooh, it's a new card, so that's good. But it's not, like, super great. So, Lilligant is 90 HP. Petal Blizzard, the attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And Petal Dance for 40 damage. For each heads, this Pokemon's now confused. Flip 3 coins. Not too bad. And there's also another stage of that. Of course, it's... well, that is the only one, actually. So, stage 1 Pokemon. I'm not a huge fan of this card. Flipping the coins is always risky, and 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon is okay. I don't know. I don't think that's the greatest card ever, but they can't all be winners. Sudowoodo, 100 HP, Rock Throw for 40 damage. Your opponent's with the ability, your opponent can't have more than 4 benched Pokemon. If they have 5 or more, they discard benched Pokemon until they have 4 on the bench. If more than one effect changes the number of benched Pokemon, then use the smaller number. Clefable with 100 HP, Lullaby for 20 damage, puts your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep, and Meteor Mash for 60 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon's Meteor Mash does 60 more damage. Whimsicott with 80 HP, the Wages of Fluff, the defending Pokemon is knocked out during your next turn. Take 2 more prize cards if the Pokemon is knocked out. Fairy Wind for 30, and also it's no retreat cost here, so that's kind of nice. Beware, 130 HP. Rake It In is the ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your next turn, or during your turn, you may draw 3 cards. And Dangerous Blow, 60 damage, plus 60 more damage if your opponent's active is a basic Pokemon. Jangmo O is 60 HP. Bulletproof reduces damage from attacks by 10. And Dragon Claw is 30 damage. Chansey with 110 HP, Bind Wound, heals 30 damage from one of your Pokemon after flipping a heads. And Hammerin does 80 damage. Gothita is 60 HP, Blown Kiss, put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Helioptile is 60 HP, Thundershock will paralyze on a heads flip and deal 10 damage. Petilil is 50 HP, Blot does 10 damage and heal 10 damage from this Pokemon. And finally, a Psychic Energy, the new super cool Alolan Psychic Energy. So I really want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Until then, folks, I'll catch you on the flippity flip.